All right, I have a quick homework assignment for you. It's about how to use your erasers as a drawing tool. And you have several types of erasers. You have a kneaded eraser, you have a white vinyl eraser, and you have a soap eraser. So it doesn't really matter, this one's all dirty, but I would try your white vinyl and your soap eraser, and definitely your kneaded eraser for this exercise. So what you're going to do first, though, is prep your paper with fine charcoal. Hold it flat. And I'm going to use a whole page of my sketchbook. Oops, it breaks so easily. Using a little circular motion. There, all right. And I'm going to use my fingers to rub it in, and again in a circular motion. Okay. I'm going to give it one more pass because it's a little uneven. Okay. All right, so I've got a medium gray value. All right, so the first thing you should probably play with is your kneaded eraser. And what's nice about this rubber eraser is it can be shaped. So it can make a point, which can make like little lines. They're very subtle. They don't erase all the way down. It can be shaped, and you can use it as a sort of a stamping tool. So I'm pressing and rubbing. And then as it gets dirty, you just knead it and get to the clean area. So a lot of times this one's nice for gently lifting color, and it makes sort of a softer gray mark. Whereas this one, my white soap eraser, which I'm actually going to cut in half because it's very old and brittle. I like to cut it because then I can get straighter edges, or I can hold it another way and get wider edges. So this one tends to erase more completely down to the paper. Tap, tap. Let me try this one, my gummy eraser. This is a newer one. And this one's coming in even a little further. So all I want you guys to do is experiment on one paper and see what's possible. Tap, tap, tap with your eraser. This is the eraser mark sticking to the page. So it doesn't matter what you make. You're making sort of just random marks. See if you can get different shades of gray, like light gray and dark gray. See if you can get all the way down to the white of the paper. Down to the white of the paper. And then I'm just going to use my brush. You guys all have one of these in your kits. That's better than my hand. So I think these marks come from my really ancient eraser. There is a time when erasers kind of go bad. Like this is a little brittle. The kneaded erasers really just go bad because they start to pick up the materials they erase and they become part of them. So, I usually store mine in a little plastic bag to keep it clean from other dust. But there will be a point when it feels more brittle and it's just not working anymore, and you'll need a new one. So if you notice, you guys have brand new erasers, but if you run out of a tool, let me know. Tell me I need a new eraser. All right, so the other thing I'm going to do is come back in with the vine charcoal and so add some darks. So see if you can make something, design or pattern, that has a full range of values. And a full range of values means you have a white, white, you have a black, black, and you have some intermediate grays. So you're just playing. It doesn't really matter what you make. I just want you to see what's possible with the eraser as a drawing tool. And I'm pretty much sticking with vine charcoal and with my erasers. I'm not adding any other materials. Although maybe I will. Can smudge with your fingers. Can also blend with one of these. come through some of your dark marks and see how they change. You can use this to move material around. And I'm now going to switch just for kicks, see what happens. If I find my nice dark compressed charcoal, which you all have. Here. It's a different form than what you have. This should be a little darker and blacker. Let me put some of the other black just so you can see the difference. Okay, and let me see what happens when I erase this one or blend this one. So I'm going to move, oh, it really moves. Can you see how far I can move that? Dust from that. I can also, I just wiggled my eraser on top to make different types of lines. Let me see what the kneaded eraser does to it. I'll try it in 2 areas. It's not lifting this up as much. So this charcoal is definitely a blacker charcoal that's harder to erase. I'm going to use my kneaded eraser to blend this one. So the vine charcoal is easier to lift up and erase. It doesn't make as dark a mark, but it gets pretty dark, probably to a value 2. Your erasers can be used to blend, and they can be used to physically lift up the material. And the kneaded eraser is more of a mopping up, subtle mark making tool than the vinyl or the gum eraser. All right, so that's it. You are going to play with your erasers, make a little abstract drawing with your erasers. Prep the paper first with vine charcoal, blend with your fingers, try the kneaded eraser first, and then compare that to the marks with either your gum eraser or your white vinyl eraser. And then once you have some lights and darks, switch to your compressed charcoal, and that is the black from your pastel kit. And just notice the difference between how much you can erase one versus another and how you can push and pull the material. So that's it. That's your homework. You'll finish this, take a picture of it, and add it to your visual journal. Okay.